Good morning, everyone, and welcome to B2B Breakfast to Business, where we talk shop, we talk life, we talk advocacy, and we talk real. This is your morning girl, Bea Lim, President and CEO of Team Asia, bringing you another fresh episode of B2B in a breakfast conversation. And today, as we have breakfast this fine October morning, we are actually celebrating Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And we all know that with cybersecurity being a top priority of not only businesses, but us as citizens of the world, it's important for us to talk about it. And we also wanted to talk about this wonderful topic and how it positively impacts actually also how we do our businesses or how we actually move forward. And what better way to kick things off than with a conversation with a fantastic industry leader that is making waves in this cybersecurity industry. We are joined by the NCC Group, a global force in cybersecurity. We will be exploring how they're partnering with universities and developing industry programs, all with the goal of empowering the next generation of Filipino cybersecurity defenders so that we can really highlight the importance of cybersecurity as we move forwards with our businesses, with our advocacies. And we are honored to have NCC Group Country Director for Manila, Philippines, Saira Acuna, as our fabulous guest for today. And with a 15-year career in business operations, leadership, and technology, Saira has expertise in data science and management. She also previously was the head of sales, operations, and client experience for NCC Group APAC in Sydney. And she now leads NCC Group's Global Delivery Center here in Manila, making waves, and we are so excited to hear what she has to say about this most important topic. Saira, I'm officially welcoming you to the B2B airwaves. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Morning, Bea. I'm very excited. Thank you for this opportunity. And yes, indeed, happy Cybersecurity Month to everyone. And this is a very timely topic, and I'm excited to impart what NCC Group is doing, the initiative, and how we can reach the community that we serve here in the Philippines.
Absolutely, Saira. I want to learn more about it, not just for Team Asia and for our podcast, but also for myself, because we know that cybersecurity is so important. And I would love to pick your brain on certain topics for today and how we're actually really empowering the next generation talent, right? And making sure we're all cyber secure. So happy Cybersecurity Awareness Month to you as well, Saira. But before we deep dive, how are you? How's everything going? I know you've been super busy.
Absolutely busy, which is really good, very productive. We have done a couple of engagement lately. We were out there to participate at the recent IIS celebration with IBPAP. Followed the following day, we were at GAIN, and it was a really interesting workshop, and it's a gathering of experts and how do we actually invest in the next generation talent. And I was ecstatic, and at the same time, it was only the start of what else we can bring in the table as a private organization and how we can impart all this exciting investment here in the Philippines. So
Absolutely.
busy, but very productive. So
I
exciting
know.
times.
And I've seen you in so many of these events, Saira. You're looking into really sharing with a lot of different industry groups, sharing with a lot of different audiences how important it is for cybersecurity to be at the core of businesses or business strategies, but also making sure that we actually have the talent to make it happen. Right.
Absolutely. Part of our investment is in the talent and how do we develop them and industry ready, right? So yeah, exciting topics ahead. So thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you so much, Saira. Now, on to what we wanted to talk about first and foremost, which is really the importance of cybersecurity. And what I want to know also, or what we want our audiences to know, Saira, is what NCC Group is actually doing to put the spotlight on this most important strategy in businesses.
Cybersecurity has become an increasingly critical aspect. A lot of people is talking about AI, ML, and the advancement of technology. And with that, the resilience of our digital system should be very strong. Risk mitigation and cyber attacks is a very important topic now. And these attacks can have devastating consequences, not only for businesses, but also for individuals and our government. So to me, it's very important to acknowledge that we are operating in a vast network of interconnected system, managing sensitive data, and it has become a prime target of criminals to look into sectors who are managing those sensitive data. So we move in a very fast changing market with evolving cyber threats. It has become very prominent that the cyber criminals is equally investing in advancing their strategy and approach on how they can exploit businesses and individuals, and that they are not standing still. And the evolving threats, we also need to equally invest in areas such as talents and technologies to also mitigate those risks. So NCC Group, as you know, I'm sure I've shared as well during one of my panels, is that we are a leading global cybersecurity risk management company who we know we play a role in raising awareness about cybersecurity and providing those solutions to mitigate risk. We have a very strong commitment to the community to spread awareness. And we have initiatives in place now to reach universities and government agencies to open these resources to them. Example, we have trainings that are meant to help schools, students, individuals, and organizations to understand the importance of cybersecurity and learn how to, first of all, protect themselves from common threats, even the simplest one. And these are only the start of our initiatives on how we can help the community.
Absolutely. And Saira, it is so evident to me and to everybody that has worked actually with NCC Group just this past year that at the core of what you're really passionate about is making sure we empower individuals and businesses about cybersecurity. And that is why, we have so many of the training programs, as you mentioned, and the like. But I'm curious also, Saira, how did this idea come about? You sharing that, we really wanted to empower schools, institutions by giving training programs and the like. How did this idea start? And, how did you make it happen?
When we came to the Philippines in September, we started NCC Group Philippines back in January. And I was born in the Philippines, although I spent most of my time in Sydney, my career with Sydney organizations, because that's where I live. I truly understand it's embedded in us Filipinos at a very young age, the importance of learning, right? And so I knew from the start when I took on the role as a country director that that is one of the most advocacy that I want to invest in. So when we started looking for talents, we did not have a boxed in criteria and say this is the only people that we are going to hire. We have opened our doors and consciously opened our doors to even young generation and even fresh graduate from high school, fresh graduate from universities, because NCC is quite confident of the way that we deliver training for our employees. So with that confidence and that passion and advocacy, I was like, let's do this. Let's tap into young talents. Let's help them develop at a very, very young age. Nowadays, like the recent generation, they have iPad and phones, etc. Technology is readily available for them, but it's also the responsible usage of those that I know NCC can also help them at understanding even the simplest threats. And so I thought, okay, let's invest in the education and reaching out the education institution and open the door to young generation and have that opportunity to not only have a technical cybersecurity career within NCC, because we have also support functions such as finance, marketing, operations, admin, and we're like any other organization who have different support function to support our operations. I think it's very important for the market to know that cybersecurity is not limited to technical talents only. And I'm very passionate about that. And so the rest is history. We have a lot of initiatives now in place with the universities, which is so exciting, very exciting.
Thank you so much, Shire, for sharing that. I can really feel the passion, of course. I feel that, you really have continuous learning as the foundation of what you want to establish at NCC, whether they're fresh graduates or, already trained or highly experienced consultants, right? Can you touch more, Saira, about the actual programs that you have with the education sector? What are these kinds of programs that you're putting together? And what are the skills that you are hoping they're able to develop as you work with them through these programs?
I like the reiteration there, Bea, about not only the targeting the young generation, but also even those who wants to maybe transition their career into a cybersecurity profession, right? And that's also deeply rooted in our partnership with educational institution. A good example is in August, we have formalized our intent of partnership with 3 schools in the Philippines. We have formally signed our MOU. And it was not just a piece of paper, but it was a testament to our shared goal of ensuring that we invest in the next generation talent. The key focus for us is to empower also the educators. So we have introduced this so-called train the trainer program within those schools, right? It is also equally important for us to recognize the role that our educators play in all of this initiative. And we want to do a top-down leadership approach, right? We want to empower the educators so that they can help us empower their students. So we also have participated in some roadshow and cyber awareness seminar. And our collaboration with academic institution will enable us to engage further into, let's say, cutting-edge research. We are going to advance our field in addressing emerging challenges that is potentially targeting that education sector. We also want to bridge the gap between the academia and the professional world, which is very exciting. We are looking into imparting our resources when it comes to curriculum review through education and regulatory boards, right, such as SHED and DepEd and TESDA, and have that relationship with them to ensure that they can leverage the resources that we have now. And then we produce talents who are aligned to the need of the industry market.
And I love that we are going actually into the curriculum, Saira, because that's so important that as the world evolves, and we're evolving at a very fast pace, as we've always heard about and talked about, it's so important for us to make sure that we are keeping up with what is needed, right? Or what we can see that, our industries are going to be in the next, few years as tech continuously evolves. Saira, quick question. How is the energy of the students and the educators when you have these roadshows? Because, cybersecurity when I was in school wasn't, talked about and the like. And now with like what you said, we have iPads, we have smartphones, we have technology at the tip of these very young ones' fingers, right? How is the energy when you guys go into the room and say, hey, cybersecurity is here? It's a priority, it's here to stay, and we need you to be our cyber defenders.
I think one of the advantage, of course, of someone like me who is not, I'm not technical, right? I'm not a pen tester. But I think and I'm also I used to be a nurse, so a completely different field, right? But then I think the advantage is my understanding on how to translate the importance of an industry that is quite not familiar to you to a more fun. We gamified the seminars and make it more fun and easier to digest for students. We really made an effort, the team and I made an effort to tailor the content of what we are sharing to the students. Because one of the school that we went to, they are actually a vocational school. So if you look at their curriculum, it's more on the certificate side of programming, not really as advanced as you would look at a university, which is a bachelor's degree. So in terms of the fundamentals of the curriculum, it's quite far apart in terms of how advanced those information that are being taught at school. So one of the highlight of my stay here in the Philippines is the visit at the school, particularly at the vocational school. And you can see the want in their faces to learn more about cybersecurity. We have a group of about 500 students in our first session, and they ask questions. Can you believe that? And I got so excited. And they were like, what do we do if I want to do this and that? And the engagement is very high, and they're not shy at all to ask questions. At first, I was like, I hope they ask questions, but they did. The engagement with our technical team, and that's considering the speaker was a technical person, and the students are very, very, very high. And so it made me so excited, and it just give me more fuel to do more of those awareness program whenever we go there, because we have follow through. It didn't only happen once, because there has to be a follow through in all the initiatives that we are doing. Cybersecurity awareness is not a one-off, let's do a seminar for one day and expect everyone to be on board, right? So we have follow through and make sure that we consistently reach out to them. We have a feedback loop in place where the teacher can reach out to us and say, okay, I have a question from this group of students. How can we facilitate, even not a formal seminar? It could be just a call, a meeting with my team, a mini webinar. And so by doing that, we are not only going there as a once-off, but they know that we're going to be here to stay and we're going to be here to support them. And I think because they know that and they have seen us multiple times at their school, the engagement is only getting better and better every time, which is very exciting. Very happy about it.
Absolutely. I'm excited for you and I'm excited for the students and even for the teachers. And there were just two things that I really wanted to highlight with what you shared, Saira. The first one really is that this is not just because we want to get cybersecurity talents, right? It's also about educating other people to just see the importance of cybersecurity and whatever it is that they're going to do, whether it's for their personal or maybe their career, or even for the educators, right, who may want to also learn more. And I love, which is the second part I wanted to share, was the laymanizing of a highly technical or at least a perceived technical industry, right? Because, a lot of the different, comments or feedback that we have when it comes to cybersecurity, and Saira, I know you always have this, right? Is that it's intimidating, it's too technical, it's scary, and the like. So going actually there to the students at a very young age where you're able to tell them, okay, you know what, this is something that we can actually deconstruct, digest together, and having follow throughs really just fortifies, right, their knowledge and their interest about something that is so essential actually in today's fast evolving world. So I'm so go NCC Group. I am so proud of you guys, and I'm just so happy that you are doing this. And speaking of partnerships and how beautiful you are doing this with our educational institutions, I know that NCC Group is also partnering with the industry, right? With the private sector. So, Saira, what are the things that you are doing with the private sector in really uplifting or highlighting the importance of cybersecurity?
It's already been started. NCC groups intend to further our industry collaboration, whether it's through, we have a very strong relationship with IBPAP, who is equally passionate about the talent of the Philippines, and we are a proud member. GAIN is another partnership that we have, and Women in Security Alliances Philippines. And these are the only few that I can name at the moment, but then we've already started a collaboration. And this is essential for staying ahead of emerging cyber threats, because we have an aligned goal of investing not only on hiring the Filipino talents, but also how do we also invest in those talents so that they are work ready. And so that common goal brought us together. And I'm very excited that NCC is always engaged with these industry leader in seminars and events to do cyber awareness or even develop curriculums, right? At the moment, what we do is we actively share threat intelligence, best practices with industry leaders, because this not only enabling us to provide our clients with valuable insight, but also our partners, right? NCC Group, we have a dedicated research and development team. And so it is also important for us that part of our investment here in the Philippines is to ensure that we open that resources to industry leaders who have the same goal as NCC Group. And to strengthen our relationship with the industry and stay informed about the latest trends, we actively provide these insights through our webinar, through LinkedIn. We have this so-called Global Cyber Policy Radar report on cyber security regulation trends, as well as monthly threat impulse through the effort of our research and development team. And that simple sharing of knowledge and expertise is going to go a long way. Private organization like us who has a different level of resources, right? We have a dedicated research team. We have a team who really go out there and understand what's happening in the cyber world. And these are all for free. These are resources that you can get from LinkedIn and download from our website, right? So it's going to continue, which is very exciting. We've been doing this for so many years, and we will also bring that here in the Philippines for sure.
Absolutely. And Saira, what I super love about what you said is about the knowledge sharing, because I think that for all of us to really stay on top of our game, knowledge is power. And having partners like the NCC Group really collaborating actually with the industry or with the private sector in fortifying people's knowledge or, their awareness about cybersecurity will go a long, long way. And I've been a recipient actually of learning from NCC Group from the different events, like with IDPAP, as you mentioned, being able to learn more about the tips, the trends that is happening. It's so important and it's so powerful to be armed, right, with the knowledge on how to be prepared or to combat any threats, right?
Yeah, and there's power to working together, right? And we have the same goal. We want a secure digital future, right? We want to protect the Philippines and the world from this ever-evolving threat. And more heads is always better than one, right? And that coming together has been, we've seen results by doing that, right? We engage with government agencies. It's certain fulfillment of just giving, oh, by the way, we have this monthly threat impulse or global policy radar. We might be able to, give you some insight that is going to be important to your business strategy or how you are putting your plan together for the year. And that goes a long way.
I love that. Power in knowledge, or knowledge is power, and there's power in working together. And I cannot
Yes.
agree with you more, Saira. Now, we've talked about actually a lot of the education side, right? And how these programs that you have, partnerships with the private sector and industry about developing the, next generation talent. And we've touched on making sure we start them young, right? I want to talk now about actually the next gen talent that are with you now, right? And how important it is to build on a very good talent pool amid so many things changing in the business landscape. So my first question actually on your work environment, Saira, is how is the work culture at the NCC Group, and what are the things that you feel are the most important priorities of NCC Group in creating this dynamic work environment?
I have a very happy employee. And I'm very proud of my team. They are very hardworking, very collaborative, and just that camaraderie of different teams, whether you're from the technical team, from the support function. At the moment, NCC Group has got 120 employees, and by the end of October, we'll hit 130. And hopefully, before the end of the year, 150. Very, very exciting. And look, at the core of what we do at NCC, one of them is the diversity and inclusion workplace. It's important for me as a leader and for NCC that everyone feels valued, they are respected, and they are empowered to contribute their best. And we believe that diversity of thought and experiences is one of them. And that's part of our innovation and success. And we have a values that binds us together. And, the way we start that at a very early process, Bea, and I think it's very important. When we did the hiring process, I do the behavioral final interview all the time. I'm very hands-on. And one of the things that is discussed during those conversations, it's more on what is NCC about? What are the values that is bringing this team together? And that is continuously reiterated through our town halls. And if you talk to one of my team members, whenever I do a town hall, my last slide is always the values of NCC Group. Because I always believe that, It's one thing to start something and put something in place. It's another to make sure that that process or that value stick throughout the organization, whether you add more people or increase your capability, etc. So that reiteration, I am an advocate to that. So it'll be funny when you talk to one of my team members, they'll be like, oh, the last slide for Saira is always the values. And that is very important. And you know what? I am glad that that's how we do things here because it shows in the employee surveys. I'm very proud of the very high engagement level of our team here. We reached 97% in the most recent engagement survey. And look, measurements like this is helping us, my management team and the leadership, to really assess the effectivity of what we are trying to do in terms of diversity and inclusion, the values that we say we are going to implement, and if it's really implemented and if it's really affecting our employee in the most positive way, because that's the goal, right? It's not a set of rules. Rather, it is us as a community in our office and say, this is how we're going to be successful together and deliver the best possible outcome for our clients, for our colleagues, and also for the community, most importantly, right? So very happy employee. I get so passionate about talking my employees because this is one of my favorite part of my job is making sure that their well-being are looked after and making sure that they come to work with certain determination to do their best and happy, really. With, things processes doesn't always go the right way. Not, no organization can say we have a perfect process and tools and nothing goes wrong, right? But then it is the values that is going to determine whether how fast you're going to resolve those issues because you have people who are driven to say, I want to contribute. I want to make sure that I am part of a solution rather than a problem. So I am very happy with the team and the strong collaboration and the sense of community and belongingness. And the management team, I'm very proud because, and this goes along the NCC Group organization, right? On how the leadership and management put so much value into looking after employees' well-being and their career development.
Absolutely. And Saira, I could really hear the work culture that you have, really highlighting that, everybody's overall well-being is super important. It's very evident that you have a value-based approach into being able to put together this very dynamic work environment for your team, but also to make sure that their well-being is looked after has resulted in a very positive employee satisfaction score, as you mentioned. And retaining top talent is so important these days, right? With everything that's going around, with the changes that we have in our industry and in the global marketplace, we do want to make sure that we keep our teams happy, but also productive and passionate about the work that we do and who we do it for. Sarah, my quick question actually on that topic is, what for you is the key or the keys to ensuring that we retain top talent?
I read this book. It's called The Power of Law, 48 Powers of Leadership or something like that. And one of the law there is the law of the lid. And your people can only go as high as you are as a leader. So as leaders, we have a responsibility and obligation to our team to really deliver the best work that we can, not only for the numbers, but also for the people that we look after. And so to me, it's critical that you have a strong alignment with leadership and management team because your management team is going to see through and implement all the brilliant ideas that you have as a leader. And that relationship is very, very critical, right? And that alignment of goal and strategy and values together is crucial, really, in the operation of your business. And then second is genuine care for your employees. We have some numbers to deliver, we have clients and projects to deliver, but always don't forget that it's equally important to check in. Simple things, just check in with your team members. Also, third one is make sure that when you have a strategy and you have promises, that things happen sometimes and delays happen sometimes. Communication is key because when you leave things for interpretation, and that's when, when people don't know what's happening and they don't have an update, it can cause some uncertainty and doubt. And to me, it's very important that your team doesn't only feel trusted, but also well informed, and opinions are valued and communicated very well. That alone is going to have a big impact in making sure that you have a happy employee and collaborative, really, to work through some adversities or whatnot. Yeah.
It's very evident to me, Saira, that you and the NCC Group really empower your employees and your team members, your consultants and the like to really just band together, right?
Yeah.
They are
Yes.
heard, they are seen, they are felt, because we also need to empower these cybersecurity defenders, right? That, they have such amazing skill sets that we need actually to take care of our businesses and our, like what you said earlier, sensitive data and the like, and making them feel empowered and seen and heard also gives them that push that, hey, you know what, I'm doing such important tasks, like, I am a defender in this new digital age, and I can just imagine how your employees feel that they are part of that community that is doing great work, that is doing great and positive work for not only their clients but community as well.
Empowerment doesn't have to be extravagant, right? Like what we're doing at the moment, we have this so-called Friday Tech Talk. And this is encouraging technical team to share success stories. What have you done with this client? And give them a platform to showcase the great things that they did. And that alone is just giving them, oh, I'm being trusted here to speak, in front of 100 employees. Wow, right? And that goes a long way. It may not be that person, some people are audiences when one person is talking, but you'd be fascinated on what it can do because those people on the audience is like, wow, this person is giving that platform. That's amazing. We can do this in this organization. Yes, you can, because everyone here is given the platform to share ideas. One of the values that we have at NCC Group is we are brilliantly creative. And whenever I have these casual conversations with my team, it's like, look, one of the most people that I have met that is quite creative are the technical consultants. And I said to them, look, share it, showcase it, right? And you don't know, you may touch one person there and say, look, you know what? I'm also equally creative. I'm going to raise my hand and do it next Friday. And we've seen that happen in our group. And I'm very proud of the team. And they are not shy enough anymore to say, I want to showcase what I did. And that's very, very important. Give them the
Absolutely.
voice.
And a lot of people sometimes feel that when you're in a highly technical environment, you're not creative, right? Because, it goes into very specific skill sets and whatnot. But being able to live that mantra of being brilliantly creative is so inspiring. And then just getting up there and sharing knowledge can also, inspire other people to take it up, do it as well. And it makes them confident at what they're doing. And being able to actually share knowledge is also empowering other people to not only learn, but to actually do the same thing. So I love, Saira, that we actually went full circle, that, what you're doing actually in taking care of your top talent, your amazing talent pool at NCC Group is also how you're actually also empowering communities, which is sharing knowledge and making people feel that they can combat cybersecurity threats through what they learned from NCC Group.
Absolutely. And look, NCC is here for education institution, our industry leaders, and the community. And look, let's work together. It's very important. We have resources that might be useful for you, and we are here to support this community. Absolutely.
My gosh, Saira, I'm sure everybody's going to take you up on that offer. And I think Saira really put everything together, ladies and gentlemen, that, really cybersecurity awareness is so big. It's a gamut of different topics and whatnot. But, we need to start somewhere. And this is the somewhere, right? It's us being able to empower the next generation talent, not only to be cybersecurity defenders, but to just know what cybersecurity is about, making sure that we also get our industry leaders excited about it and empowering their own people about cybersecurity, and actually just making sure that our communities feel that they can reach out and also learn about cybersecurity to defend themselves. Saira, we have something here at B2B, Breakfast to Business, about being able to share a food for thought for the week, right? Before we end our beautiful morning conversation. Out of all of the things that we talked about, I want to ask you, what would be your food for thought for our listeners on the importance of being cybersecurity aware and also being able to empower others about this cause?
We are moving in a very fast changing market with evolving cyber threats. And these threats are getting more sophisticated by the day, right? And it's crucial that we leverage the latest technologies, maintain a robust, intelligence-driven security measures, whether through your vendor, through industry experts such as NCC Group, industry leaders who has the same goal of staying ahead of these threats. Leverage that, make use of that. I think it is very important that we approach cybersecurity now in a more proactive way. There was a different view of cybersecurity in the past, that if you work with a cybersecurity, it means you got hacked or something like that, or you're vulnerable. The threat landscape of cybersecurity is evolving faster than we can blink our eye. So we need a more proactive approach, leverage technology, leverage partnership with industry leaders and private organization like NCC Group. And the rise of these sophisticated techniques, again, as I mentioned, highlights that criminals are not standing still, and they will not. And as these threats evolve, we must strengthen our defenses too, through early education, awareness in the community, and just by working together to a common goal of secure digital future. We can do this together.
Absolutely, Saira. And I love that Saira's food for thought was so deep. It was a buffet of different topics, of different insights that I feel people should just really know about. And in fact, Sai, when you were sharing your thoughts, all I could think about for my own food for thought for the week really is how important your thoughts on knowledge were earlier. And I just wanted to bring it back to that. If I were to give food for thought for our listeners, it is number one, knowledge is power. Like what you said, we can only beat them if we know. And that is through early education, that is through continuous learning, that is in empowering other people and inspiring other people to share their knowledge, right? But the second one is the power of togetherness, right? Being able to use the knowledge that we learn, share it, and do something about it together. And I went back to what you talked about, the partnerships with educational institutions, the partnerships that you have with the private sector and industry groups, and really banding together, making sure people are aware of these things, like what you said, the complex situations, and change the perception of cybersecurity to make people know that it's not intimidating, but actually something that is tangible, something we can all work together and move forward with, as long as we have the knowledge and we do it together, right? So to me, it's the power of knowledge and togetherness that will really beat, like what you said, the criminals in the cyber world. Saira, thank you so much for your time and your inspiring messages, really, when it comes to cybersecurity and what you're doing at the NCC Group. I am so happy that we got to sit down with such a wonderful and inspiring leader, woman in technology, as you make waves in the cybersecurity world. Sai, if people want to know more about NCC Group, especially excitable next generation talents that are super ready to become cybersecurity defenders, where should they go? How will they get in contact with NCC Group?
First of all, let me say thank you so much for this opportunity, Bea. I really appreciate it. And, this is going to be part of our cyber awareness program, isn't it? And it's good. I'm always passionate to impart that knowledge to the community and what we're doing as well as an organization. And you can find us in LinkedIn and Facebook. All of our hiring and initiatives and what our team is doing for game nights. You can see that in LinkedIn. and the camaraderie of the team. So yeah, just visit our website, nccgroup.com. LinkedIn is NCC Group Philippines, and we also have Facebook, which is named NCC Group Philippines.
All right, fantastic. So we are putting all of those things for everybody to see as you watch this video as well. So Saira, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for the passion. We are so proud to be partners of the NCC Group. There you have it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this wonderful breakfast conversation with Miss Saira Acuna, the Country Director of NCC Group Manila. Thank you for being our breakfast companions. And as we sally forth into the fast-evolving world of technology and awesomeness, know that you are armed with the knowledge of cybersecurity awareness this month, but more importantly, that you know where to go to learn more about this. Thank you, everybody. Ciao. That's it for today's episode of B2B Breakfast to Business with your morning girl, Bea Lim. Join our Facebook community, the Breakfast to Business Club, where we can delve deeper into all of these different topics. Also, please don't forget to tune in to Team Asia's social media accounts to keep yourself updated on these breakfast happenings. Remember to stay safe. See you again soon here at B2B Breakfast to Business. Thank you. Ciao.
Breakfast to